and then we'll see where it goes.
That is, it's so cool to see a person who has been at the highest level say the exact same things that we've been saying on the conversations on our couches for the last 5 years. We had the same exact conversation, I'm pretty sure last night, Adam and I, when we were listening to Shep Messing and Steve Cangelosi talk, who are Red Bull announcers every week in and week out. Love them as people. Met them at a Supporter Shield party through our supporters groups, and they're great people. Do not know the game worth a lick, and well, you've got.
Okay, I hear. Okay, here's where I play the counter on that. All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, and this is the thing that we're having the conversations on this, and this will be good because when we end up talking about Black Players for Change, right? Okay. Soccer is subjective.
Okay.
A referee will call one foul a red card, and Simon Borg will say it wasn't a. You should shout out Simon Borg, right?
Bring back Simon Borg, please.
Okay, so, and another person will say it's not a foul, right? A lot of the times, the person's making the decision based on what's in their best interest. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not a foul because that's my team, and I don't want it to be a foul. It is a foul because it's against my team, and I want it to be a foul, right? So, what I'm always making sure I'm careful about, and even giving everybody the benefit of the doubt as well too. It's and more importantly, what determines what understanding the game actually means, right? So like, because if someone doesn't agree with your philosophy of the game, then they don't understand the game. Is that the answer is that where we're coming to? Or maybe we don't understand their philosophy, which is why we're actually thinking on a lower level. They're thinking on a higher level.
Right.
Right. So how are you coming to the conclusion that he doesn't understand the game? And that's the type of things that we need to be talking about, because you could be right, but you also could be absolutely wrong.
Right, for sure. I think I definitely should have chosen words differently there, but the instance that had in my head was there was a free kick that went in. It went through about 7 or 8 players before it went through the entire defensive line. And Shep Messing goes in and says the guy on the back post needs to do a diving header to get on that when he was 7 yards away and stuff like that. And that's where I was, so he knows the game. It's his commentary on that type of stuff. And then you look at people who are like, oh, well, they don't try hard enough because they're not doing these diving headers, when it's not really the right situation that calls for it. So I agree. I definitely need to choose words better. But yeah, I see exactly what you're
you see what I'm saying? Okay, so not even better, more accurately.
Yes.
Okay? Because in the way in which you're providing commentary right now. You're talking about 2 individuals of which I don't know, right?
Right.
In real time. And I'm hearing you, but based on your breakdown of how you're conveying the message to me about what they do or don't know about the game, I question your knowledge of the game. Got it?
Yeah.
So, okay, so what we need to really be discussing and talking about is how we discuss and talk about the game. So when you have a criticism of someone else, that's fine, but talk about the specific scenario. Because if you do that, now you're protecting yourself here in the short term and the long term, right? Because if you give blanket statements, now anyone can discredit you at all in the future. You already dragging this person, so you're doing the same thing that we just talked about, dragging them.
Right?
As opposed to being critical of his process of thinking. And his process of thinking may include everything that you just talked about right now, right? But your communication didn't elicit your process of thinking. So the moment that you said, well, this is the specific play, it got through 7 people, and then his commentary was he's got to make a diving header save. And you saw where you got me on board with you. I said, okay, I understand what you're talking about.
This is going to have to be a 6-hour episode because you have so much to share, and I need to learn everything from you. It's great.
No, it's great. I'm sure we'll connect several times over more. And as we go through it, you'll gain more experiences. You'll gain more knowledge. You'll have more questions, right? And then you'll test new ideas and new things. And some things will work, and some things will you'll be like, oh man, saying that caused a huge issue and problem for me.
Yeah.
I understand what the problem was. This is how I adjust and I go moving forward. And that's how I gained the experience to be able to, in real time, while we're having these conversations, breaking it down, right? It's like, hey, okay, you might have a valid criticism, but if your message doesn't get through to the other person, and by that I mean the audience, our goal is to educate the audience to the point that on their own, by the time they're listening to these guys on television, they go like, what? This is a terrible analysis and breakdown. And now they're gunning them on Twitter and Instagram, like, yo, go back to school and educate yourself, or get someone here on the air who can more accurately convey what's going on, break it down, and educate the audience. I think a great example of someone who does an amazing job of that is Joe Rogan. If anybody watches any of his commentary in UFC, right? He's breaking it down so that you can understand the nuance that's happening, even if two guys are grappling on the mat, right? Someone who's casually watching goes like, nothing's happening, this is boring, change it, right? But he can say, hey, look at the position of this guy's hips and look at where this other guy's holding his arm. And because of that, that creates a very difficult moment for this. So this is extremely difficult. This is extremely tiring. If you're not understanding this, go out in your backyard on your own and then go hold up a gallon of milk for a minute and see what it feels like. Doing commentary that way gives people a much deeper appreciation for the sport and allows for them to invest more of their time and attention into it. And once that starts to happen, there's a deep relationship there, right? And yeah, the community grows. And I know that that's what we want, right? We want to see MLS do well. That's what we want. We're not criticizing it because we want it to go away. We're criticizing it because we want it to be better.
Yeah.
But we also have to come up with solutions. So this is a great conversation. I'm liking this, guys.